quite nice when a green lets you play through and hit a drive into a greenside bunker. I'm going to go for a nice low 2-iron. Yeah, every subscriber. Free game at Goodwood. Some fun holes to come. But it's starting to rain. I've got a theory though, which usually is true, that it never rains on the downs course. I've come to play here so many times before, and the forecast will say like rain, but never rains. I don't think I've ever been stuck in rain here once. Obviously other people have, and it's completely untrue.
It's favouring you.
I like to think it sends the message out there, and then I never get rain. So this could be a first.
It just leaks round to the left, isn't it?
Yeah, it just goes round to the left, this one. So ideally you'd hit a draw, but my natural shot is a bit more of a fade, so me trying to draw it just feels like I'm trying to hook it. We're going to go for a nice low 2-iron. So if you end up down there on the right hand side, it's really not that bad. So we're going to play ball back, just see if we can crunch in a little 2-iron down there. Perfect. That flight. Oh. Right. Perfect little spot for a wedge up the hill. I was thinking this one, because the green is so far above you, it's almost easier to be a little bit further away. Like if I'm going for a 60-yard wedge shot up a slope that you'll see in a minute, I always think it's quite difficult, whereas I'd rather hit something a bit more full that would stop and land a bit quicker. I mean, driver would be aggressive. You could probably go over the trees and
driver would be aggressive. That would be aggressive.
But then it brings in all the danger in the right. So I think people will soon realise that I do play quite conservative golf, won't they, Tom?
Yes, you do.
I don't know, I'd rather feel as if I'm always in play rather than, it's a big thing at the minute, isn't there, about club at speed and trying to hit it 320 because you have a wedge into the green. I understand that, but equally I think there's always a benefit to being in the fairway, right? So
I think a fairway is important.
Yeah, I do understand, like if you're 50 yards away from the green and coming out the semi-rough, it's probably just as good as being 100 yards in the fairway. You know what I mean?
You've got to be good at chipping there, don't you?
Yeah, but
That's
for a
the
hole
thing.
like this, I mean, I wouldn't like to be too close to that green because it's on such an upslope and you'd be so short-sided. 120 then, so 120 is just a perfect gap wedge for me. This wind is still battling.
It's definitely into slightly, right?
Feels it now.
Feels into but off the left.
But the rest of it feels down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit a soft pitching wedge. Now it feels downwind again.
Yeah.
Right.
It changes a lot.
It does, it's swirling.
It does.
It's really swirling. There's a little bush left of the flag which I like the look of. Give me yardage. That could be good. Tom was just saying he's always short on this hole. I was just saying that short is no good. All the danger is at the front of the green, so you're playing up a slope like that, which might add 10 yards to your yardage. But just trying to be pin high, so important. So Tom, just pan around to the front of the green. Look at the front right. A big runoff, which would leave a really tough chip.
That's usually where I am.
That's usually.
Just put into context for everyone.
Getting past the flag, even though it maybe leaves a tough downhill putt in summer, but this time of year we should be about pin height.
Which is about where we are.
Sometimes it's like I know how to play golf. So we've gone stinger 2-iron and a wedge to about 10-12 feet. Another birdie try. So little bit downhill, left to right. It's quite an inviting putt. Looks like it's going to dive off to the right hand side. If you hit it, such a bad putt. 4, Lewis, well done. What do you reckon, Tom? Green or no green?
I reckon it's certainly in play. But then again, the wind is so difficult to judge. Could be into.
Yeah.
I mean, how far are we at? 329?
Well, it's 330 to the back of the green. So I'm just going to try and hit a little driver off to that right hand side.
That's going to be really good.
Is that front bunker, was it or not?
I think so.
Best drive of the day, that one.
Whole way.
It went straight. Oh my god. It's not quite right side, but equally just on the front bunker. Not bad. Right, let's test the bunker play. Test the bunker play. I always find this is quite firm sand in here.
So you got a little bit more.
Got to take a little bit more loft and not quite apply as much bounce to it. Take it. It's quite nice when a group lets you play through and you hit a drive into a greenside bunker. Thank you very much. Right, come on the birdie putt. Haven't held one so far. What do you reckon, Tom? Straight?
Looks fairly straight. Maybe a tiny bit right, possibly, but I'd say it's mostly straight.
Yeah. There we go. First birdie of the day. Take that all day long. Okie dokie. A nice birdie on a short par 4. I'm super out of breath from that hill.
That is a long
I can't
hill.
believe that.
It's a big hill.
Oh, good.
That doesn't put into context, does it? That is big.
Yeah. 460. Third hardest hole on the course. Drive right centre of fairway would be nice. It would start to kick round to the left. Just a nice, not overhit driver. There's a bush, middle of the fairway, which is the target. Foot slip.
A little foot slip.
That'd be really good. Middle of the fairway.
Yeah, nice.
Foot slip.
Yeah.
I think the premiers are getting a bit. Oh, they are actually, aren't they?
Deary me.
Probably one of my favourite holes. A, because it's just a nice winding par 4, but also because you've got a beautiful view. You can't see it today because it's too misty and cloudy, but nice view across the Portsmouth, Chichester Cathedral. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Quite something.
Lovely job, mate.
I would say if you get a chance to play, you should, but as it's a members one,
Yeah,
a little bit tricky.
gotta try and befriend a member that's.
So if you want to like and subscribe, then Lewis will take it.
Yeah, every subscriber. Free game at Goodwood. A joke.
Listen.
A joke. Just saying. A joke. I think it got so busy that they made both courses members now. Whereas
Oh,
it
the
used
park
to,
one as well, yeah.
Yeah, you used to be able to play the park. But a client of mine said he was going to play here for his birthday, and he tried to book, and yeah, found out they're both members courses. Which is nice for us members because it makes it a little bit quieter. But yeah, the Wild is missing out, and the Downs are good.
It certainly is.
Beautiful. Right, that's a pretty good drive. Even with a foot slip, we've still found the fairway. We got a little wedge in. So when it gets really wintry and wet and muddy, you get to pick, clean and place within a scorecard's length. Perfect. 147. That doesn't look like 147.
No. Bit downhill though, isn't it?
Downhill. Wind off the left. I think it is a wedge. Wind off the left. So we're going to hit 70% pitch wedge, I think. Wind/slope didn't do me an awful lot of favours. That's not easy. Let's just see if we can just knock it onto this top bit. That's one of the best bump shots I've ever hit. Right, I'm amazed this is actually short. But I did clip that so nice. Clipped it so nice. Right, so we've got a good chance to save the par. It's pretty straight to me, I think. Oh, just pulled it. Oh well. That's a shame from 150 and in the fairway, but it's very difficult when you've got wind going one direction and slope going the other. Shame. 2 holes left. See if we can pick one more birdie up. That would be